Here we're going to solve a quadratic, but it's also a quadratic that's not quite in the right form yet or needs a bunch of simplifying before we can do it. How do I know it's quadratic? Well, I look anywhere and see a squared, and so think hopefully this factors. That would be our easiest option. If it doesn't factor, we have to use quadratic formula, but regardless of which method we use, neither of those work unless one side of the equation is 0, which means we need to get all the like terms together on one side of the equation. So what's stopping me from doing that first? Well, notice this w minus 7 squared needs to be FOILed. And also to remind myself, how do I know that that's FOIL? Because squared means something times itself. So if I go ahead and write this out, that means w minus 7 times w minus 7. The rest of the equation we won't mess with until later. So I have to FOIL this. My first term, w times w, gives me w squared. My inside term is negative 7w, but so is my outside term, so I'm going to go ahead and get those like terms together right now. Negative 7 and negative 7 gives me negative 14w, and then negative 7 times negative 7 gives me plus 49. And then it's up to me what side of the equation I want to put everything on. And I'd say it's probably easier to subtract this w squared from both sides. Since there's two of them over here, we'll just be left with one of them on the right. Just do whichever one's smaller, keep it positive. So that means that it looks like if I'm taking this off this side, I want all of these things off this side. So as long as I'm neat about it, I can probably do a few of these all in one step. So I'm going to add 14w to both sides. I'm also going to subtract 49 because I'm trying to get rid of a positive 49. So these all add up to 0. So now one side of the equation is 0, like I need to be able to solve this. 2w squared minus 1w squared leaves me with 1w squared. Negative 20 and positive 14 will be a negative since I'm adding, right, the negative is a bigger number, so negative 6. And then 42 minus 49, so think if I take away 42, I'd be back at 0, and then I still have 7 more to take away. So w squared minus 6w minus 7. So hopefully this factors. I think it's going to. Let's see. I know that w and w should be my first terms to give me w squared, thinking about what would happen if I FOIL. And negative 7 and positive 1 multiply to negative 7, but the inside-outside terms add to negative 6. So that was a nice guess and check factor 1. And so now that I have two things multiplied to equal 0, I have two possible solutions here. W could equal negative 1 for this factor to equal 0, or w could equal 7. So really, we didn't get to really solve until here. We were mostly simplifying. So the simplifying in that one took almost twice as long as the actual solving. So negative 1 and 7 are our answers.